From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Well, those thunderstorms are going to be starting today. Really, as we go through the afternoon hours, the thunderstorms are beginning to really pick up in intensity, especially as we get into the late afternoon and early evening hours. With these thunderstorms, we've got an elevated fire risk due to the potential for dry lightning. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, temperature-wise, it's still going to be below normal, well below normal for this time of the year through the rest of the week, even into most of the weekend. But by next week, temperature is climbing up a bit, but still below normal for this time of the year, and no big heat waves in store for us anytime soon. So here's what we have. Thunderstorms in the forecast for especially the mountains north and east of the valley. Trinity County, your chances are going to be a bit slimmer, but I still think maybe the north end of Trinity County, Trinity Center, for example, Coffee Creek, yeah, maybe a stray thunderstorm. The coast will be dry. The valley, for the most part, dry through most of the day today, but by this evening tonight, that may be a bit of a different story. Let's take a look at the fire weather. Now, first and foremost, there is a red flag warning due to the potential for dry lightning strikes with those thunderstorms. As mentioned, I don't think the chances for thunderstorms in Trinity County are all that high, or even into Del Norte or northern Humboldt County. And I still expect to see thunderstorms in places like Lassen and Plumas counties and even the mountains of Shasta County. So there is no red flag warning there, but I do still think that there's going to be a high potential for some dry lightning in that area here. Now, the wind gusts that we're seeing here on the map here are basically the winds coming in from those thunderstorms, not only this afternoon, but once again, we're going to see a bit of a repeat with those thunderstorms again for tomorrow afternoon. Now, we can't see it too clearly here, but there is an area of low pressure to our south. And if you look at the spin of that low pressure, counterclockwise spin around that area of low pressure just to the south of San Francisco, that's tapping into a little bit of monsoon moisture, and there's just going to be enough moisture for these thunderstorms to really work with, and that will bring us a potential for some strong to even severe thunderstorms are certainly a possibility here for today. I think this is doing a pretty good job. A little bit too far to the west. I don't think we're going to see any activity for Del Norte or northeastern Humboldt County. Slim chances out towards northern Trinity County as well. But Siskiyou, Modoc County, really everywhere else in the eastern mountains, you are seeing that potential for thunderstorms. Now, where you see the brown and that salmon color, that is where you have the best potential for dry lightning strikes. That's why, again, I think we should still be looking at a red flag warning for all of the eastern mountains here for today. We take you into your Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yes, we'll take you into your Friday, looking at the potential for thunderstorms there as well. Mainly for the higher elevations, but we can't rule out maybe even some activity in the valley as well. And for Saturday, yes, we're going to continue that chance. However, I'm beginning to see signs that most of the activity on Saturday will be in parts of Siskiyou, Modoc, and even into Lassen counties. Let's take a look at that on Futurecast. Walk you through the timing of all of this. So 3 o'clock today, there you can see some of the strong thunderstorms and maybe even some severe thunderstorms in the eastern mountains. This includes Lassen and Plumas counties, and not to mention Modoc County. But we're also seeing some activity popping up in Siskiyou. So as you can see here, it begins to flare up, and now we're seeing it spread a little bit more westward into Siskiyou County. But notice Trinity County. Notice the inland areas of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. You're not seeing much of that activity kind of really rolling in. But look at this evening. You see that? Oroville, Corning, Red Bluff, even around Redding, you're seeing a few stray showers and an off chance for a thunderstorm. So we could see some activity rolling and kind of moving through that upper level flow around that area of low pressure to our south. That's what's going to potentially bring some of those showers and thunderstorms in the valley. But still, some pretty active weather in Siskiyou County. Even as we go into midnight tonight, still some leftover activity here for parts of the valley and in the foothills east of the valley. But after midnight, those chances start to diminish. Drier conditions for your Friday morning. Now, it looks like we're going to see a bit of a repeat again. By early to mid-afternoon hours, thunderstorms popping up. Now, Friday, I think we're going to see a better chance for those thunderstorms in Trinity County. And you can see it does include Siskiyou, Modoc, really all of the mountains surrounding the valley. The valley doesn't look to be quite as active. The overall upper level flow may not help to support that activity in the valley, but we still can't rule out places, especially in the north end of the valley, maybe seeing a stray shower or a thunderstorm tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Saturday morning looks like we're drying things out, and you can see at least this particular forecast model does not show a lot of activity popping up for Saturday afternoon. However, that being said, I'm just going to keep that chance for thunderstorms for all of the mountains on Saturday before we start to see that kind of diminish a little bit here going into the second half of the weekend. This particular long-range forecast model, not very aggressive with any more thunderstorms after Saturday. There you can see Sunday, not much going on there, is there? Let's take you into your Monday. Not much going on there either. In fact, you can see the dry conditions here, and then going into your Tuesday. Now, I don't want you to be fooled by this because some of the other long-range forecast models, such as the European, is still a little bit more aggressive with that potential for thunderstorms, especially in Siskiyou and Modoc counties. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I'm keeping that chance in there here even as we go into next week. All right, let's switch gears, talk about the temperatures. That more mild air is going to be moving northward. Now, as it does that, what's going to happen is our temperatures will start to increase because as that moves out, that will allow the heat over the desert Southwest and even north of that to expand westward into our region. This is something I've been mentioning here, and the main dome of high pressure, that main bubble of heat, is still pretty far off to our east, but that dome of high pressure, that dome of heat, is expanding into Northern California, and we'll see warmer temperatures as a result. Still most likely below normal, but it is going to be warmer than we're experiencing here this week. And you can clearly see that on the 10-day trend for Redding, upper 80s to low 90s here through Sunday, but then back up into the upper 90s at least for Redding, which is still below normal. Look at the normal high, still about 100 to 101 for that daytime high. So we'll stay below that. We're staying below 100 and we're keeping it below normal, most likely through next week into that next weekend. All right, so for today, there's the best chance for thunderstorms north and east of the valley. Otherwise, I think mainly dry for everyone else, at least for today. By this evening into tonight, yes, some of those making their way into parts of the valley as well. 56 degrees for a low tonight in Dunsmuir, 57 in Weaverville, and temperatures in the low 60s for the valley. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast starting off with the valley. And I've got the word chance in there for Thursday, Friday. Keep in mind for today, mainly evening, and even Friday, mainly evening as well. That's the case for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico. By the weekend, I don't expect any showers or thunderstorms, and it's warming back up in the mid to upper 90s for Monday through Wednesday of next week. For the coast, low 60s, maybe some drizzle in the morning hours with that fog, otherwise dry. Inland, I'm keeping it dry today, but there is a chance you can see some of those showers and thunderstorms move into the extreme eastern portions of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. By Saturday, Sunday, though, that's done with. Low 90s inland by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For Trinity County, a chance today, better chances for Friday and probably maybe even into Saturday, and then those chances will diminish as we go into early next week. Siskiyou County, there you can see the thunderstorms here for today, tomorrow, and possibly even into Saturday. And I put the word chance in there for Sunday through Wednesday, but keep in mind, it's going to be few and far between, and many of you in Siskiyou and even Modoc counties won't even see a drop of rain or even any lightning strikes through a good portion of next week. For the eastern mountains, we're going to keep that chance at least through the weekend, but most of the activity should stay to the north of the eastern mountains by the time we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.